Have you ever been in a situation, I know I have, when the stress cranks in, the pressure's at an all-time high, and you can feel it? Like maybe mentally or emotionally, you're all over the place. You can't focus, you're distracted. You kind of feel like you're hitting a breaking point, and maybe people can tell. Or physically, like you feel that anxiety swelling within you. Or for me, sometimes my shoulders will get really tense, or I can even like have a little bit of like a shake where I'm like, okay, like I can feel that I'm nervous, I can feel that I'm stressed out. And a lot of times you can notice that from people, right? Sometimes people handle the pressure well, and other times you can see it on them, whether it's those physical indicators or it's the way they're talking or the way they're conducting themselves, where you're like, something's off with them right now. But other times, people can handle the pressure and you don't even know that they're feeling it. I can think of when you look at people who are public speaking, like for myself, when I first started, oh man, you could tell I was nervous. And sometimes that's still the case, but a lot of times now I can kind of get up and before I preach or teach, even if I feel the anxiety within me, even if I feel the stress and pressure, I don't show it. I'm not fumbling over my words as much. I'm not like shaking. I'm not like speaking too fast or because I'm nervous or whatever. And I'm handling the pressure better than I used to. And a lot of that's just dependence on the Holy Spirit and what God's doing. But maybe you can relate in different areas of your life where there's things that used to just bring you so much stress and anxiety, but now you are kind of calm and cool under that same pressure. Well, it's really interesting. There's a lot going on in John 13, but something that's really easy to notice is how Jesus handles the pressure of the situation. You look, and in verse 21, it says that Jesus was troubled deeply in his spirit, right? So we already know that he's upset. There's something deeply wrong with what's about to happen, and he can feel that, and he knows that. He's not ignoring that feeling. But the way he conducts himself in that situation, no one was able to tell that he was that deeply troubled unless he said it, right? Like they talk about how Simon Peter, he wants to know who's the one who's going to betray him. And so Jesus, he says, the one I give the bread that I've dipped into the cup. And typically this is a sign of reverence and respect if you're the one to receive that, but it's Judas. Judas is the one who receives that. And so he goes off, and it says that the disciples didn't even know what was going on. They didn't even know what Jesus was talking about here. And part of that maybe is by design by Jesus here, or part of it is probably more so that they were just missing the mark. But I think it's really interesting here to see that Jesus, perhaps this weekend, this night especially, is one of the most stressful and anxiety-inducing moments of his life, and it would have been really easy for him to kind of lose it and break. And although it is okay for us to need help, and it's definitely okay for us to hit a point where we need to seek out and be like, hey guys, I'm not doing okay. That's important. But it's also important for us to realize that it is possible for us to endure really difficult and stressful situations when the pressure is on, and to do it with grace and peace. That we don't have to crack when things get hard, but that Jesus, by the power of his Holy Spirit, through his Holy Spirit, it's the power of the work of the Holy Spirit in our lives, that he can build a strength and endurance in us that we can push through those situations. Now, we need strength and community. We need the Holy Spirit's guidance to do that, but we don't have to hit these breaking points. I just think it's so beautiful that Jesus shows that he can hold in tension both this deep anguish he had and the ability to be at peace in the midst of it. So I hope that's encouraging to you this week if you're facing a tough and challenging situation, that Jesus, going in it with Jesus, it is possible to find peace and contentment and to not break when other things around you are. Love you, church.